Okay. Hello, thank you for being here. Thank yourself for the time you've made for, for your yoga, your breath. Today we're going to do some movement, breath work, but then at the close, we'll have a couple minutes of Shavasana, kind of yoga rest, seated, lying down if you'd like, but then I'm gonna have you sit back up if you're lying down for some seated breath work at the very end. So a little different kind of order today than I usually do. So find a comfortable seat. Oh, and before I say that, before we get started, if you want to take a minute before we start to find either a blanket or socks or both for the end of the practice, since we're going to do Shavasana and then sit for another moment, just so you're not chilly. It's good to not be cold. So I'm actually going to do the same thing and grab a blanket to have here for the close of class. So just something so you're not chilly at the end. Okay. My cats are acting up off screen. I have flowers off screen and they're really fascinated with getting up there to chew on them probably. So I have all kinds of stuff. So I don't know, they're being a little mischievous today. Okay, so we're gonna settle in. Think about your feet for a moment, whether you're seated or standing, whatever you're doing your practice today. Lift the toes gently. Just be aware of the bottoms of your feet. Okay. Bottoms of your feet, toes are lifted gently. And as you breathe, just be aware of the edges of your feet. The bottom of the big toe, the ball of the big toe, moving out to underneath the little toes, moving down on the outside of the foot toward the heels, around the heel, and back up toward the big toes. And then that space in the ball of the big toe, down under the arch of the foot, down toward the heel. And up and around the outside of the heel, up toward the little toes. And then back under the big toe, and think of that base of the toes. Gently lower the toes if they were lifted. So strong foundation. Moving up through the body. Ease in the seat, whether you're standing or seated. Thinking of the hips. Thinking of that bottom of the pelvis. So in the chair, you have our sit bones right underneath the seat. And a gentle rocking back and forth, very gentle. Awareness of the sit bones. And if you're standing, a gentle tilt to the pelvis, kind of tailbone down, tailbone out, gentle rocking. Just to notice that pelvis, forward and back motion. Come to stillness. And notice the shoulders. Lifting the heart. Shoulders gently back. Notice the neck, the top of the head, lifting the body up, lifting from the top of the head. And the jaw at ease, not clenched. Maybe the lips are closed. And then bringing the ears back ever so slightly over the shoulders. Kind of lift that carriage when we tend to drop the head and neck. Ease in the face and eyebrow and breathe. Imagining a breath coming from the soles of your feet all the way up through the top of the head on an inhale. Just kind of a huge whoosh of breath coming up through the feet, up through the body, out the top of the head. And then a gentle exhale, letting it go, dropping from the head, through the chest, through the legs, through the feet. And do that 2 more times. Good, releasing the hands down to the side, some gentle rolling of the wrists. And the other direction. Good, fingertips to shoulders, elbows out to the side. Inhaling, opening up, palms toward the sky. Exhaling, fingertips to shoulders. Couple of times, just moving through that. If that bothers your shoulders at all, you can drop the elbows and do the same thing. We honor our bodies, not through pain. We adapt and find what works. We have our breath. Good. Once more. Nice. Palms together, closing the fingers, and then pushing the palms out. Down toward the knees first, just kind of in that direction, finding a settling point with your shoulders. We're going to move nice and slowly so that if your shoulders don't like this, you can adapt to the angle that works for you. We're going to inhale, back of the hands to the chest. Exhale, straight out, horizontal, if that works. Inhale. Exhale, 45 degrees, so kind of right above your sight line. Inhale. If it's accessible, straight up. Exhale, pushing the palms. You can open the fingers if that feels better, or just pick a different angle. Inhale down. Exhale, 45. Inhale. Straight out. A couple more times. Inhale. 45. Inhale. 90. Again. 45. Inhale. Straight out. Last time. 45. Inhale. 90. Inhale. Rest the hands, palms up, ease in the shoulders, breathe. Warming up the other direction of the shoulders, we'll inhale, draw the elbows back. You can leave your palms facing up. Draw the elbows back, shoulder blades toward one another, and think of reaching the heart out slightly. You can keep that belly button tucked to the spine, protect the low back. And then exhale, just kind of release to neutral. Inhale, open the heart, elbows back, shoulder blades toward one another. Exhale, neutral. Again. And again. Very nice. Drawing the left hand out to the side. Inhale, sweeping it back, just kind of gently finding your range, keeping the heart facing forward. Exhale across the body. Inhale. Exhale. If the arm at horizontal doesn't work for you, lower the range, not a problem. Inhale, let's hold it open, keep breathing. Find just that edge between work and ease. We don't want it to be easy, but no pain and no strain. Your jaw should not be tight. You should be breathing. Noticing the work, breathing. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arm across. Let's support it with the right hand. So we can really reach through those fingers, hugging that left elbow in toward the right chest. Breathe. And gently look over the left shoulder. Again, ease and work, find that edge. Try to lower that left shoulder. I just realized I had mine way up in my chin. So kind of ease that left shoulder down. Belly to spine, draw that belly in. We're engaging the whole spine as we gently turn our face back to center and release the arm. Pause here, breathe. Nice. Right side, this side might be different. Just honor that. Inhale, palm will open. Thumb toward the sky. Exhale, sweep it across. And again, this motion might be very different. It's okay. Inhale, open. Noticing your edge. That's why we're doing it nice and slow. We want to find that mobility, that range, but not through pain. Again, with motion. Good. We'll inhale, sweep and hold. And finding that edge, your range, breathe, not clenching the jaw. Try not to grip the toes. Notice the breath. Good. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it across, support that elbow so we can kind of hug it into the left side of the chest. Reaching through the fingers across the body. And gently looking over to the right, trying to calm that right shoulder down, not drawing it up to the chin, but down. Gentle holding, gentle pressure with the left hand, not to strain the right shoulder. We're supporting, just kind of finding your edge. Breathe. Maybe you find a little more space in that right hand in turning your head. Belly to spine if this bothers your low back at all, or a gentle tail tuck. Just find the spot that makes your low back happy. Breathe. Belly to spine, draw that whole core in, kind of supporting core as we turn the head back to neutral. Relax the arm, palms up, and breathe. Tall spine, so strong. Just awareness of the energy in the body. Very nice. We're going to stretch out that left foot, point the toe, and then lift the toes. And point, and lift, point, lift, point, lift. Good. Hold that lift. Get those toes up toward the knee. Push out with the heel. Really activating the calves, kind of a safer way to move through the muscles, kind of like imitating stairs, same muscles we use. Good, and then a nice stretch with the toe, really reaching out, lifting the top of the heel up toward this top of the ankle, up toward the sky. Good, lower down, slide it back, and right foot. Toe point, toe lift. Just move through that, breathe. Nice and slow. Good, toe lift, let's hold, pushing that heel away. On the floor or lift it up, doesn't matter, kind of depends on where you are in your chair probably. Pushing that heel out, make any adjustments, breathe. Good, and toe point. Reaching that top of the ankle up. Very nice, and down. Let's slide the feet under the knees. I'm gonna come out of my seat a little bit, so my seat is just resting kind of on the edge. Just be nice and sturdy. Open the knees, heels under the knees, nice tall spine, opening, kind of keeping those knees over the ankles. Try not to let them kind of really activating the inside and outside of the legs. Good, tall spine, really active. So pressing into the ground, opening the knees. So not a passive pose, we're really pressing into the ground. It's kind of a seated goddess. Let's join the arms. So active fingers, elbows back, heart forward, knees are open, pressing into the ground, very active, breathe. Breathe. Activity, breathing into the hands, breathing into the chest, lifting the chest forward, opening the knees, pressing into the ground, breathe. Nice, big inhale. And exhale, hands to the knees. And then tuck the tailbones. We're going to exhale here to come back. And now breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. So the pelvis is really open. So we're tucking that tailbone under the body. Chin is dropped and we're really reaching back with the mid back. So maybe you're holding onto your knees to allow for a stretch in the arms or reach of the shoulders. Breathe. Really kind of bringing the front of the pelvis up toward the belly button. Getting into the inside of the hips, breathe. Letting the head hang. You're gonna stay here for just a couple more breaths. Ease in the jaw. I know since we're holding on with our fingers, there's a little bit of gripping going on, but that's okay. Ease in the jaw. Now thinking about movement with our inhale, very slowly thinking about your tailbone, we're going to roll the tailbone out and back. Our legs are nice and open so the belly drops. We're going to bring the shoulders and elbows back and lift that heart forward. And pausing here, very different. Keep the knees open. We're bringing the shoulders and elbows back and then reaching that belly button out and down. Tailbone up. Breathe. Maybe your chin is lifted a little. If that's a little all too much for the neck, the head can stay in neutral. Just concentrate on the heart lifting. Gentle back bend here. Breathe. If this isn't gentle enough, come out of it a little bit. That's okay. If you start with your tailbone a little tucked, you'll notice a difference in your spine. Breathe. The intensity of the whole torso, really the whole body with our legs like this. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Stretch that heart forward. Good, nice inhale. And exhale, tailbone coming back under the body, releasing the shoulders. Palms up. Little rest. Breathe, notice. Notice your feet, your legs, shoulders, face. Nice, roll to the wrists, one way and the other. So let's bring the feet under the knees if possible, or have a chair in front of you if we're working on that so that you have your balance. And a pivot at the hip, bring the chest over the legs. Lift your toes so you notice your foundation and your feet. Hands can be to the heart, out, up, whatever you'd like to do today. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to push the ground away, lifting through the legs, lifting the top of the head, making whole spine kind of work together. Good. Inhale down, soften. Exhale, everything comes in and up. Whole body working together. Inhale. Just kind of like putting on a giant body glove. Exhale, everything's in and up toward the sky. Come down, hold, breathing, just holding the posture, finding that balance. You can kind of play with the hinge in your hips, where your seat is sticking out or not, the bend in your knee. Breathe. Maybe challenge yourself to go a little bit lower today if your knees cooperate. Again, no pain. Ease and work. Breathe. Good. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away, head for the sky. Very nice. Chair, we're going to use the back of the chair in a minute. Tadasana, mountain pose. Changing our posture to standing if you've been seated. Lift the toes gently so we kind of feel that base, bottoms of our feet. When we started, awareness, all the edges of the feet. Tall spine. Ears back just ever so slightly over the shoulders, making that kind of carriage correction. Nice, let's take a nice big inhale. Arms up. Exhale down. And again, big inhale. Exhale. We're going to inhale and swan dive down, so you can use your chair if you'd like. You don't have to bend your head all the way down. We're going to inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. You can stop yourself with your hands on the back of your chair. You can put your hands on the front of your calves. Deep bend in the knee, whether your hands are up or down. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away, just like coming up through chair. You can use your arms. Inhale here. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale here, bend the knees. Exhale, push the ground away, reach for the sky. I'm going to do that once more using the chair instead. Inhale here. Exhale, swan dive down. Palms go to the back of the chair. You just sort of bend over. Bend the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, push the ground away. You can use the chair to assist you back up. And then you can bring your hands up. Nice. We're going to come a little closer to our chair. And then gently, with flat back, hinging at the hips, bring our chest over the back of the chair. You can also do this on your hands and knees if you want to. You can do this with the back of the chair or the seat of the chair if you're feeling super flexible in the back of your legs. You can also put a little bend in. So I'm going to use the back of my chair. You can use your seat, adapt to you. We're going to reach the left arm forward and the right foot back. So find your balance here. Left arm forward, right foot back. And then lift that right foot and push out with the heel. Breathe. Inhale. And then we're going to bring a little tuck in. You can bring elbow to knee. You can bring forehead toward knee. Do whatever you want. Inhale, reach out, pressing the heel out. Hand forward. And exhale, tuck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. We're going to pause here, keeping the shoulder down. So we're not, you can stand up if you'd like, if bending over doesn't work for you. We're hinged at the hip. Try to keep that right hip down. So we're not opening up to the right. Whoops, my foot's getting lazy. Press out with that right heel. Breathe. Very nice. Return the left hand to the chair. Step the right foot up. And Tadasana. Just notice energy on one side or the other. Very nice. Open the eyes if they're closed. Let's do a nice inhale up. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Hands back to the chair or on the seat of the chair, or maybe your hands are on the ground. You're going to reach that right hand forward and left foot back. And if lifting your foot is not accessible to you, I should have said this, you can sort of point the toe and then flex. You can just kind of practice one to the other. So we're reaching out, pushing out with the foot. Inhale. Exhale, tuck. Whatever you're tucking, head, elbow. We're just kind of bending your knee. Inhale, reach. So if you can, we want to think about the hand, the arm all the way to the heel, making a line. Whether you're standing or are a little bit more bent. Whoops, keep that left hip down. I'm opening up. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, reach. Once more. And then let's reach and hold, breathe. Try to keep that left hip down. I keep opening up to the left. Reach with the heel, you can do it. Good, hand to the back of the chair. Foot back down, up, and Tadasana. And notice the bottoms of the feet, the legs, shoulders, jaw. So we're going to go back to the chair. We're going to take our bend again. Left foot under the center of the body. We're going to bend the right knee. And then lift the right leg behind us. So this is more about the leg first. Watching that right hip, trying not to open up to the right side, trying to keep that right hip down. Doesn't matter how high your leg is. We try to press out through the heel. Kind of think of this as a balance thing. We're balancing. We're going into warrior one. And then we can reach the left hand forward. And if you'd like, you can try to also reach your right hand forward. You can put one hand down, fingertips down. If you do this by a kitchen counter, something that's higher, you can rest your hands on that, press through the heel. Doesn't have to be high. Still a great balance pose. Very nice. Hands gently to the top of the chair, bend the right knee, and back under the body. Come to standing Tadasana. Good, bringing the heart back over the back of the chair. And opposite side, so grounding into that right foot, maybe you bring it under the body just a little bit more. Left foot comes back first. Kind of find that balance. Lift the left leg. Again, trying to keep the left hip down. It's really easy to want to open up. Again, it doesn't matter how high your leg comes up. You notice mine isn't all that high. Not a problem. Find your balance. I'm going to bring the right hand forward. This side might be different balance challenge, and maybe the left hand. think about that strength coming in to the center of the body, out through the heel and out through the fingers. I am super wobbly on this side, but that's okay. Breathe. Very good. Good. Hands to the back of the chair. Step the foot down. Standing. Tadasana. Gently lifting the toes. Awareness of that strong foundation of our feet. Knees. Hips. Breathe. When the heart's elevated and our blood's really moving around, just kind of breathe in and out through the nose, enjoy the energy. And notice the breath, notice the effect on the breath effect on the body. Let's do a nice sweep up, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. So turning the chair, I'm going to face the side of my chair with the back of the chair accessible to me for holding. I'm going to step my right foot in the chair. If that doesn't work for you, you can bend your right knee and just kind of lean it against the chair. We're going to use the back of the chair with our right hand for balance. But if your right foot is in the chair, just find your balance. Let's put hands to the heart space. Breathe. You're going to inhale, fingertips up toward the sky. Again, you can keep a right hand on the back of the chair. And then as you exhale, gently turn toward the right and open the arms. Good. Breathe. Breathe. If you'd like, you can look out more past the right fingers. Bigger balance challenge. You can always lower your right hand to your chair or your left also. Put your left hand on your right knee. Breathe. Good. Inhale here. And as you exhale, belly to spine, arms over the head, turning shoulders, ribs, belly back to center. And then gently open up to the left. Hold here, breathe. If your knee or hip is telling you that you need to move your toes out a little, please do that. We listen to our hips and knees. Looking out toward the left thumb, keeping that knee over the ankle, keeping that knee open. We don't want it to kind of drop down, throw off our balance. Breathe. Nice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, unwind. Shoulder, ribs, belly. And let's put hands back to heart space. Kind of a one-leg Tadasana. Very nice. Nice and straight. Good. Either put a hand on the chair or awareness of your balance as you take your right foot off the chair. Tadasana, notice. You can move your chair around. I'm going to leave mine here just because I'm already here for camera. Put the left foot in the chair or again up, and you can rest the knee on. So all the twisting that we're doing, you can use that as your twist with your left toes on the ground and knee resting on the side of the chair. Breathing, grounded, the side's different. Just noticing difference. Good. Inhale, fingertips toward the sky. Exhale, going to the left, going to the knee that's on the chair. Exhale, open up and breathe. Turn the head toward the left fingers. You can put your hand on the chair if this is a balance challenge, which it is. Sometimes just awareness that that chair is right there, solid in the feet. Breathe. My shoulders are getting precariously close to my chin, so ease the shoulders. Ease in the neck a little bit. So we inhale, one or both arms up. Exhale, shoulders, ribs, belly. And then open to the right. Again, you can make a little spin of the right heel. If that feels better. Want to honor the knees. Look out toward the right hand, keeping the knee above the ankle. Breathe. Watch the shoulders. We don't want them to be up there with the ears. Breathe. Nice. One or both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, unwind, shoulders, ribs, belly. Pivot that heel if it's out. Hands to the heart space, kind of one leg Tadasana. Breathe. Balance. Tall spine. Fingertips to chair as we lower the leg if you'd like. Step down. And Tadasana. Good. In through the nose and out through the nose. Opening the eyes if they're closed. Let's inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale down. Hello, Vera. Right foot in front of or over left, kind of crossing. The legs are crossed. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up, or just one arm if you would rather do this in back of your chair. Arm up. Left hand to hold right wrist. Inhale, reach that wrist toward the sky, and exhale over to the left. Again, this can be done with your hand on the back of the chair. Finding that space from the right shoulder down through the right hip. Breathe. We're going to inhale here. And we like to use our exhale to move and support the body. So inhale. Then as you exhale, belly to spine and find your hand reaching for the sky. So again, we're drawing everything in to protect the low back. Good, arms down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Ease in the jaw. Step over, left over right. Kind of finding that steadiness. Your feet can be as close as feels comfortable, or sliding one a little bit more in front of the other. Wherever your balance is, chairs nearby. Again, you can do this right behind your chair. This side might be different. You kind of feel your body, if your legs are a little tired, kind of feeling your body playing with center, playing with balance. Inhale, sweep up. Right hand to left wrist, reaching that left hand for the sky. And exhale over to the right. If this bothers your shoulder at all, we just drop and we still have that nice side curve. Finding your space from the left hip up and over the left shoulder. Again, whether arm is up or down, doesn't matter. Body playing with balance. We've kind of crossed the midline. We have our feet crossed here. You can squeeze the thighs together. Breathe. Using our breath again, we'll inhale. Exhale, draw that belly in, reach for the sky, kind of bring the whole torso in toward the spine. And arms down. Back to Tadasana. All right, Vera, it's time for me to use the chair. We're gonna go back to our chair. Pick up your kitty cat. Backing the legs up to the front of the chair. We know it's there. And just challenge yourself to come down nice and slowly. Maybe you lift your toes, ease in the jaw. So thinking about the breath and being aware of how your body feels. So it feels less like work, more like breath work. Left hand outstretched. Reaching out kind of down and away, and just very gently moving that left ear away from the shoulder. Belly to spine, kind of minding our low back here. Find a spot that feels like it's where you should be, not in pain, not in extreme strain, maybe just a little bit of work, and breathe. Good. Now keeping the head right where it is. Inhale, fingertips toward the sky. You might feel that a little bit in your arm. Exhale, fingertips toward the ground. Kind of cupping the wrist. Inhale, fingers up. Exhale, fingers down. If you spend a lot of time typing, this is something nice you can do seated. Good. Next time your fingers are up, kind of piano the fingers. Sort of strumming the air, pushing the palm away, moving those fingers. Good. And then fingers down and piano. Strumming the fingers. Nice. Now we're going to bring you can pause the left hand. We're going to bring the right fingertips up to the right temple. So that was a lot of extension here in this. So we don't want to strain what we've just stretched, basically. Belly to spine, inhale. And as you exhale, draw that belly in, gently lift the neck. We added all this space in, and we don't want to jerk it up with our neck. Nice. Maybe look over the right side, left side. Hold the glance over the left. And back to center. Nice. So right fingers out. Again, this side might be different. You always modify. And then slowly move that right ear away from the right shoulder. Belly to spine. Notice where your tailbone is. Ease in the jaw, ease in the toes, breathe. Reaching with the fingers, moving that ear away. Good, and then inhale, fingers up. Exhale, fingers down. Pushing the palm away when they're up, and then reaching that top of the wrist toward the sky when they're down. Nice. Next time they're up, pausing, pushing the palm away, piano those fingers. Breathe. Notice your low back. Ease in the jaw. Good. Fingertips down, piano. Reaching that top of the wrist toward the sky, kind of pressing out with the fingers. Nice. Stillness in the right hand, left fingertips to the temple. Just pause here for a moment, kind of allowing the temple to rest into the fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, belly to spine, strength coming up through the spine to straighten the head. Nice. Little look right, left. And holding the look over the right for a moment. Good, back to center. We're gonna take a Shavasana for a couple of minutes, then we're gonna do some breath work after. So find a spot where you're comfortable and can rest. Maybe you might want to lie down or you might want to stay in your seat because I'd like us to be seated for our breath work. So just find a place that's comfortable. If you'd like, you can go ahead and put your blanket on your lap or your socks on. Chilly here, blanket feels good. I'm also going to put it over my hands. So placing your hands wherever your shoulders aren't working. So I have my right hand kind of cupped, resting in my left hand, my thumbs pointing, my thumbs touching. I find that as I'm breathing, if my mind starts drifting off, which they all do, our minds are very active. We can't still the mind. We can kind of help direct the mind. It's kind of like a toddler. You can just hold its hand, try to get it to go in the direction you want. But that point, that touch point of my thumbs, if I find myself getting away from my breath, just kind of rubbing the thumbs gently, and then I can go back to my breath. So as you rest and the yoga settles into the body, just breathe. Your only thing to do is breathe. Inhale and exhale. Maybe you notice the breath in and out of the nose. Maybe you watch the effects of the breath in the heart space. Or maybe you imagine the breath in the palms of your hands. And breathe. Awareness back to the room, back to your seat, back to what is supporting you. Maybe deepen a breath. Take gentle movements. The body's intuitive, whatever feels good. And much like the toddler scenario of our minds, if you spend time around a toddler, it's exhausting. So our minds also get exhausted, which causes all kinds of problems for us in the day, and we move through it all day long. So breath work in yoga is a way to have focused rest. It's not sleep, but it's focused rest, which our minds really need. It's healing. It can be leveling. So I won't say calming because it's not always calming, but if you're really calm, if you're overly calm, it can help pep you up. If you're too pepped up, it can help calm you. Ease. So we reflect and we listen. And movement, classic yoga, movement is before breath work because the point of movement is so that our bodies are comfortable to sit and breathe. And sometimes that's in silence, sometimes that's to chanting, but we breathe. So if you have glasses on, I'd suggest you take them off. I'll guide you, or you can watch me once and then take them off if you have trouble seeing the screen, but I will guide you. This breath practice is called Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. And again, this breath practice, like many, can just help level us out wherever you are. Here can bring you to here, here can bring it here, or if you're just nice and even, just enjoy it. So we take our index and middle fingers and place them gently, softly, right above that brow bone. So if you feel your brow bone, you rest the fingertip, the index and middle finger there. And if this stresses your right elbow out at all, your right arm, you can also kind of cradle your right elbow with your left hand. Now we have our right thumb and our right ring finger. And if for whatever reason your right hand is not accessible to you, you can certainly use your left. I'm going to direct right. So index and middle finger on the brow bone, just above. Right thumb, just touch it to your nostril. And just notice that you gently press, doesn't take much at all, and then you're just breathing through your left nostril. Same thing with the ring finger on the left nostril. Gently press. If you're experiencing any seasonal issues or anything that has your nose, breathing through your nose is not accessible, you can do a little bit, you can open your lips ever so slightly. So we're going to close off the left nostril with our ring finger and inhale through the right nostril. Then close the right with the thumb, open the left, and exhale out the left. And then inhale left, close with the ring, open the thumb, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. So we're gonna do that just a few more times. I'm not gonna talk. I'd like you to just think through. If you mess up, it's okay, you're breathing. Reminder, we'll inhale right, close, exhale left, inhale left, close, exhale right. Couple more. Next time you inhale right, and then exhale left, and stop the practice. Palms together, thumbs to the heart space after you've exhaled through the left. And breathe. Awareness of our yoga, awareness of our breath, always with us. And thanking yourself and your body and your breath for this time. Inhale, fingertips toward the sky. Exhale, thumbs to the heart space. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.